Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
When I first joined Omnitech, I thought I'd found my calling. My project, Aura AI, was a groundbreaking development in predictive analytics, something I dedicated 4 intense years to, even before securing my position. Brendan Thorne, a celebrated figure in the industry and my assigned mentor, seemed like a godsend. He lauded my brilliance, encouraged my long hours, and promised me the world. He was more than a mentor. He was like a second father figure, guiding my nascent career. Then came the betrayal. Slowly, insidiously, Brendan began to chip away at my ownership. Small requests for co-authorship on internal papers, shared credit for presentations to upper management, always under the guise of enhancing my profile. But it escalated. He started publishing my core research under his sole name in prestigious journals, presenting my algorithms as his own at major conferences. The final, devastating blow came when I discovered he'd secretly licensed the patent for Aura AI to a competing firm, a deal worth millions, with my name completely absent from the paperwork. He'd meticulously manipulated records, claiming my contributions were merely junior assistants to his visionary leadership. My career was dead before it even began, my name dragged through the mud as a disgruntled former employee when I tried to protest. I was blacklisted, financially ruined, and emotionally shattered. I considered legal action, but Brendan had powerful connections and his narrative was already firmly established. The cost would be astronomical and my chances slim. That's when a cold, calculated fury settled in. I wouldn't just fight. I would dismantle his entire empire, built on my sweat and tears. My partner, Leo, saw the fire in my eyes and stood by me. My plan was simple, yet meticulously complex. I would expose him, not through legal channels, but through the very community he sought to impress. I spent months gathering every scrap of evidence. Archived code commits with my unique cryptographic signatures, early versions of my research papers clearly predating his discoveries, time-stamped emails where I outlined specific breakthroughs, even subtle anomalies in the published code that only the true architect would recognize as my fingerprints. I compiled it all into an exhaustive, technical exposé. I didn't name Brendan directly in the document, but I described the stolen technology, the specific timeline of its development, and the patterns of appropriation so precisely that anyone familiar with Aura AI's public narrative and Brendan's recent accolades would immediately recognize the perpetrator. I then leveraged a sympathetic contact, a former colleague who had also suffered under Brendan's manipulative tactics years ago. Through burner accounts, VPNs, and encrypted channels, I funneled the document, along with a carefully crafted anonymous tip, to a prominent investigative tech blog known for its deep dives into corporate ethics. I timed the release to coincide with the keynote address Brendan was giving at the annual Global Tech Summit, where he was set to unveil the next generation of Aura AI, rebranded and presented as his magnum opus. The execution was flawless. The blog post hit the internet just as Brendan took the stage. Within minutes, the tech community was abuzz. Experts and developers who had admired Aura AI began dissecting the evidence. The unique code patterns, the glaring inconsistencies between Brendan's alleged early work and my own documented progress, the undeniable proof of intellectual property theft, it all became shockingly clear. Other anonymous sources began to come forward, sharing their own stories of Brendan's predatory practices. The fallout was immediate and spectacular. Brendan's keynote was interrupted by a flurry of urgent calls. His face went ashen as he saw the news alerts on his team's devices. The event devolved into chaos, his unveiling utterly overshadowed. Omnitech launched an emergency internal investigation, followed swiftly by external audits. The competing firm that had licensed Aura AI from him sued him and Omnitech for fraud. Brendan was not only fired but stripped of all his awards and credentials. His reputation was utterly annihilated. No firm would touch him. His assets were frozen pending multiple lawsuits, and rumors swirled of potential criminal charges for corporate espionage and fraud. He vanished from public life, his name synonymous with deceit. For me, the path was slower. There were still whispers, questions about my methods, but the truth of my original work began to emerge. The tech blogs exposed served as irrefutable proof, and I slowly, painstakingly rebuilt my name and my career, this time on my own terms. My name is now linked to Aura AI as its true inventor, and while the initial pain was immense, the satisfaction of seeing justice served was profound. He thought he could steal my future and get away with it. He learned the hard way that some debts are paid with an entire lifetime. I wouldn't change a thing.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.